You're listening to Eastview Patriot Football live on the home of the Patriots. SHN Sports.
Hey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna go back. You're gonna battle. You're gonna fight for one another. Do it for one another. Do it for one another. Do it for each other. Do it for each other. Do it for yourself. You're gonna do it for us. Go out with this win. Go out with this win. It's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling.
Clocks have fallen back, the weather has gotten significantly colder, and several teams are fighting for the final playoff spots in this last week of the regular high school football season in Texas. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Birkelbach Stadium here in Georgetown, Texas, where the Elgin Wildcats are set to take on the hometown Eastview Patriots. I'm Travis Banks alongside Stephen Strong. We've got our special guest, David England, from the usual Georgetown Eagle football broadcast and another SHN partner here in the broadcast to help us out tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight, David. Stephen, Eastview has clinched a playoff spot. They can do no worse than fourth place. They can go no higher than third place, and they'll be all set if they get a victory tonight. However, Elgin comes into this game, win, and they're in. They're currently fighting with about two other teams, Bastrop and Cedar Creek, for that final playoff spot here in the district standings. What do you think we're going to see tonight, Stephen?
Well, you know, Travis, it's interesting that we are even here tonight, here this week, as the last 2 years that we have covered Eastview, they were off. They had their bye week on the final week of the season, and that was not the case in the scheduling this season. So it's cool, and what are the it's nice that they can come out here tonight and know that they're in the playoffs regardless of what happens. And Elgin will obviously be battling for their lives. And I expect Elgin to come out strong. They're gonna be physical, and it's just gonna be a matter of if Eastview can get out to a quick start and hold off that initial physicality that Elgin's going to bring. And I'd look for them to start going to Zion Hester early and try to find that outside running lane and try to get off some big runs here to start.
Team captains are currently meeting in the middle of the field right now. Elgin Wildcats come out wearing all white uniforms tonight, purple stripes on the white helmet, white jerseys with purple numbers, and white pants. Eastview coming out in their traditional white helmets with the patriotic American flag EV logo slapped on the sides, and the traditional red jerseys and pants with white numbers. As the team captains meet in the middle of the field, the team captains for the Elgin Wildcats, number 15, Tyron McFarland, number 44, Juan Castillo, and number 72, Cedric Trujillo. Meanwhile, the captains for Eastview, number 21, Jordan Espinosa, and number 47, C.J. Troutman.
This is a special announcement for all in attendance for tonight's football contest between the Eastview Patriots and Elgin Wildcats. Starting this football season, the Eastview Patriots will be honoring the service and sacrifice of our armed forces veterans and current servicemen and women attending our home games. Each week, a wounded warrior will fellowship with the team as they prepare for the week's contest and be recognized during the opening coin toss. Tonight, we will honor those men and women of our armed forces that made the ultimate sacrifice in giving their lives for this great country so that we can enjoy the freedoms stated in the Constitution of the United States. We would now ask that all veterans and current servicemen and women supporting both teams to stand and be recognized by all in attendance. Please stand and join us in remembrance with a moment of silence and reflection for their sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Trish Douglas and Morgan Kramer, the Eastview Choir will now sing our national anthem.
Fantastic rendition of the national anthem, as always, performed by the Eastview High School Choir. Weather for tonight, we've got clear skies, currently 49 degrees, although with the wind chill, it feels like it's 46 outside. The wind is blowing north at 7 miles per hour, and we've got 68% humidity, thanks to David England for looking up the weather stats for us tonight. And, Stephen, you've played a bit more of football than I have. How does it feel to play in temperatures this cold? If I recall correctly, these will probably be some of the coldest temperatures that these kids have played in all season.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the colder nights we've had so far. You know, it's going to hit, when these hits are going to hit, they're going to feel a lot harder. Even if they aren't that hard, it's going to be a lot sharper pain when they come at you. It's just a matter, and even these kids on the bench, they're gonna, in between defensive players while the offense is on the field, they're just gonna have to stay loose, stay warm, stay heated, stay ready to get into the game. It is more difficult, and it's not perfect ideal weather, but it's not something we can control. That's the beauty of Mother Nature, and thankfully, I mean, it is a little windy out there, but overall, I shouldn't. It's not anything out of ordinary or anything overwhelming, so no problem through the passing game that I would anticipate.
Elgin won the coin toss and has elected to defer, and they will kick the ball off. It's a short onside-looking kick for now, taken by one of the Eastview upmen. It is caught by Caden Harris at about the 40-yard line. He will not have a chance to return it as he steps out of bounds, and Eastview will get set up for their first offensive showing of the evening. With pretty decent field position, Elgin coming into tonight's game at 4-5 overall, 3-3 in district. Eastview coming into tonight's game at 5-4, 4-2 overall in district. 1st and 10, the ball is on the 38-yard line. Jackson Colson comes out in the shotgun formation. He sends Zion Hester in motion to the right, bobbles the snap, falls on the ground. Jackson Colson falls on it and appears to have maintained possession, but that will be a loss of yardage, setting up 2nd down and long. Not a good way to start the game off, Stephen.
Yeah, it was a low snap, and we just mentioned how chilly it is down there. I think that could have played a factor in Jackson trying to pick up the football. I mean, we've seen him handle low snaps all season long, but that time he tried to pick it up multiple times. It just wasn't getting in his hands. So
A loss of 5 brings up 2nd down and 15. Jackson Colson takes the snap and hands it off. Up the middle is Isaiah Quentin Jackson, He makes it about 10 yards to about the 45-yard line. And that should bring up 3rd down, and it's about 4 yards now, so Eastview does have a chance now. Stephen, something I wanted to bring up, too, about the weather is that the first couple of days of this week, it was very muggy and humid, highs of about 80 in the low 80s. We got that cold front blowing in yesterday, as on 3rd down, Jackson Colson throws a pass that is caught by Carlos Ochoa and taken for a 1st down. Ochoa crosses the 50 and is brought down just shy of the other 45-yard line on the Elgin side of the field. You know, this is really the first or 2nd day this week that Eastview has been dealing with this cold. As Eastview goes into their hurry-up offense on 1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Jackson Colson all alone, 3 receivers to his left side in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers on his right. Zion Hester lining up in the slot formation on the left side. Jackson Colson looks to the sideline to get some instructions. Does not make an audible, at least a formation audible. Jackson Colson takes the snap, drops back, has a man caught at the 35-yard line, brought down at the 30. Making the catch is number 11, Jeremiah Knight. And on the tackle for Elgin is number 2, Terrell Johnson. Pardon me. That brings up a 1st down and moves the chains for Eastview.
Yeah, it's good to see Jackson getting in a rhythm early here in this game. They've had success through the air already a couple times here on this opening drive.
1st and 10 from the 30. Jackson Colson takes the snap from the shotgun formation. It's another quick pass that falls incomplete, intended for Devon Little.
Yeah, it was coming on that bubble screen. There was a lot of traffic in the area. There's some blockers coming over and just kind of blown up play.
Looks like a little bit of miscommunication as well, as 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Jackson Colson again in the shotgun formation. Hands the ball off to Zion Hester. Zion has a hole up the middle, brought down just shy of the 1st down marker by number 90, Xavier Newells. And that's a 7-yard gain for Eastview. Brings up 3rd down and 3. Shotgun formation for the Patriots. It's another handoff to Zion Hester. Zion breaks through and is tackled around the 1st down line. And this depends on where the referees spot the ball.
Yeah, he started to move it near the line, but then he realized where he went down as they're going to quarterback sneak on 4th down. I don't know if he got it, Travis.
They ruled Zion Hester a yard short, so Jackson Colson attempted a sneak, and it does not appear that he got it, Stephen. You're correct. It's a turnover on downs. Brian Solorio for the Wildcats got in there on 3rd down and prevented Zion Hester from crossing the 1st down marker. I missed who made that tackle on 4th down. Did you happen to see that, David? There was just a big pile of bodies in there. So Eastview turns the ball over on downs at the 21-yard line with 9:16 remaining in the 1st quarter. Elgin comes out for their first offensive series of the evening. And this is a must-win situation for the Wildcats. If they win, they'll have tiebreakers over Bastrop, who currently holds the 4th place standings in district, which means Elgin will take that 4th spot in the playoff standings. 1st and 10, it's a snap to the quarterback, and a screen pass is blown up at the 15-yard line. Might have been a loss. Chris Honstein on the tackle there for the Patriots. The pass was caught for the Wildcats by number 15, Tyron McFarland, one of the team captains.
Yeah, that was an excellent pursuit and good play recognition there by Honstein as he fought through a block and was really in the process of going down due to that block and still managed to make the tackle. Heck of a play.
2nd down and 13 for the Wildcats now. Quarterback Peter McFarland takes the snap, fakes a couple of handoffs on an option. He drops back. He's got a man caught at the 35-yard line and brought down. Making the catch was number 22, Jacob Neidig, and he was tackled by Isaiah Quentin Jackson. Or knocked out of bounds, I should say. So it's a 1st down for the Wildcats, and they set up in hurry-up offense. Hurry-up formation now.
Yeah, he had options there on that play. There were multiple people open. McFarland had beat his man down the field, but still a good chunk picked up there for the Elgin.
1st and 10 from the 37. Elgin sends a man in motion from right to left, and it's a handoff to the back. Back has a huge hole up the middle and is brought down at the 45-yard line by Dalton Love. On the carry for the Wildcats was number 23, Trevon Black. That brings up second down, and hold on a second. No, it will be second down and 3. Ball spotted on the 44-yard line. It's a handoff and a design quarterback run as McFarland tries to rush up the middle. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but that Eastview defensive line held pretty well. McFarland was brought down by Jordan Hatley. No gain, so that will make it 3rd and 3 from the 44-yard line.
Let's see if this Eastview defense can kind of give Elgin a taste of their own medicine and get a stop here on 3rd down.
Shotgun formation for Elgin. 2 running backs on both sides of McFarland. McFarland hands the ball off to Trey Isom, one of the wide receivers, and he rushes around to the right side, gets the edge, and gets the first down. Tackled at the 50 by D.K. Little. Brings up a first down and moves the chains for Elgin. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Elgin from the 49, the Elgin 49, and they nearly got Eastview off sides, and a referee will blow the flag or throw the flag there and blow his whistle. It was the defensive end across the neutral zone. It looked to me like that was Stephon Reyes. And
I believe it might have been Watts there on the right side as he had crossed and he thought he got back, but the ref threw the flag a little bit after.
Either way, it's 5 yards for Elgin. Brings up 1st and 5 from the Eastview 46. Peter McFarland in shotgun formation. Takes the snap, drops back. He throws to the left side of the field, and it is intercepted by Eastview. That was on the interception, Chris Honstein, making the interception at about the 20-yard line. McFarland looked for his receiver, but threw into double coverage, underthrew the receiver a bit, and Honstein able to get right underneath the ball and make an interception while falling flat on his back. What a play for the Eastview defense.
Yeah, Honstein had himself a heck of a drive there. First play of the drive, gets that tackle on the screen route for tackle for a loss, and then ends their drive with that interception, diving up in the air and falling on his back and able to secure the football. So a break there for the Eagles and a huge play by Honstein.
This is an Eastview defense that has only allowed 3 points in their last 2 games. They've been playing phenomenally the last couple of weeks as they clinched their playoff spot on 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. It's a pitch to the left side to Zion Hester. Zion gains maybe a yard on the left side before being brought down by Mike Price, and that will bring up 2nd down and 8.
A play that really should have resulted in a loss, but just based on the shiftiness of Hester, he was able to make something positive out of nothing.
2nd down and 8 from the 17-yard line. Eastview sends a man in motion and will hand the ball off. That is D.K. Little as he sweeps out to the right side, has nowhere to go. He's only going to the right, and he's pushed out of bounds by Trevor Magnuson, a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards. And looks like the line judges are going to rule that was a 2-yard gain. So that brings up 3rd down and 6. Ball on the 19-yard line for Eastview.
Yeah, and Isaiah Quinton Jackson checks back in the backfield alongside Hester and Colson. So both speedy backs back there.
Jackson Colson in the shotgun formation. He sends Zion Hester in motion to the right side and fakes a screen. Jackson Colson keeps it himself. He runs up the middle, runs to the right side, makes it to the 25 and out of bounds at the 30-yard line, untouched. On his tail was Max Galvez for the Wildcats, but the big story there is that Jackson Colson, on a designed QB scramble, able to pick up the first down for the Patriots. 1st and 10 from the 30. Jackson Colson, same shotgun formation. He hands the ball off to Zion Hester, who sweeps to the left, dodges a tackle, and he's got open space. Zion Hester has a first down and a whole lot more. He is brought down just short of the 50-yard line at about the Eastview 47-yard line by Cody Arbogast. And it's a first down for Eastview. They move the chains yet again, and they'll hurry up here. Ball spotted at the Eastview 49. Jackson Colson takes the high snap, hands it off to Zion Hester again, who has nowhere to go, and he's swallowed up in the backfield. A loss of a lot by Well, there were about 3 or 4 Wildcats who tackled Zion Hester there. There was a miscommunication of some sort there, Stephen.
Yeah, it looked like neither back knew which one was going to carry it. It looked like Colson wasn't even sure he was going to hand it off. Just took way too long to figure that out, and a desperation handoff to Hester results in a huge loss.
2nd down and 18, so a loss of 8. Ball's at the Eastview 41-yard line. It's a handoff to Hester. Hester has a huge hole up the middle, and he finds the right side. He's got some space, makes it to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, and is brought down by Odie Hins, the junior linebacker for Elgin, who lost his helmet while making that tackle. He'll have to come out of the game for at least one play. What a huge run by Zion Hester.
Yeah, and a terrific job being patient even down the field to get his blocker in front of him and pick up even more yards.
Number 17 from Elgin penalty came off. He will be off for one play.
Referees backing me up on my claim back there. On 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, Jackson Colson throws a screen pass. It is caught, but brought down at the 15-yard line is the receiver. Looks like that was Caden Harris. I'm sorry, that was Jeremiah Knight who made the catch, tackled by Mike Price of Elgin.
4-yard gain on the play, 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball spotted on the 16-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Patriots. 3 receivers on the right side. Colson takes the snap and hands it off to Jordan Espinosa, and Espinosa has nowhere to go as he is tackled almost instantly by Brian Solorio, the defensive tackle.
Solorio on the tackle for the Wildcats.
And he's a big boy at 277 pounds according to our roster. So you can see why Jordan Espinosa is not going to go anywhere there. Brings up 3rd and 6. No gain, no loss. Ball still on the 16-yard line. So the Patriots in the red zone. They have a chance to get the 1st down, but they want the touchdown. Under 4 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Score tied at 0. Jackson Colson makes some adjustments and fakes a handoff to Zion Hester, and he's going to throw. Caught by Zion Hester. Hester has the 1st down inside the 10. He makes it to the 5 and is tackled at about the 2-yard line. On that screen pass, Hester tackled by Mike Price yet again. I feel like we're going to be calling his name out quite a bit. And Eastview goes into hurry-up mode. It's 1st and goal from the 3. It's a handoff to Hester. Hester sweeps out to the right side. He's got some space, but does not have the blocks ultimately, and is brought down, gain of maybe a yard on that play by Otis Thompson making the tackle for Elgin. And Hester made it to about the right hash mark, picked up maybe a yard, and they will indeed say Hester gained a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 as we've got about 3 minutes remaining in this 1st quarter. Eastview knocking on the door. Another handoff to Hester. He runs up the middle. And did he break the plane? He did! Touchdown, Zion Hester, his 1st of the night from 2 yards out. And Eastview takes the lead 6-0 with 2:53 remaining in the 1st.
Yeah, it was an impressive drive, especially after being backwards, facing like a 2nd down and 18, I think it was, and Hester broke off that big run. Ultimately, he is rewarded with the touchdown, a balanced drive, and who other to thank than Zion as he shifts his way, slices and dices this defense into the end zone.
Reed Honstein comes out to attempt the PAT. He had some difficulties last week with the kicking game, but he has no such difficulties tonight as the kick is up and good. And with 2:53 remaining in the 1st quarter, Eastview takes the lead 7-0 over Elgin.
And again, this all goes back to that Chris Honstein interception on Elgin's opening drive of the game. And they get the points off the turnover. That's huge for the course of this game. And we talked about Elgin coming out with some physicality. They have shown that, but the Patriots have responded well to it.
Stephen, I'm really glad we have David England over here helping us out on the booth tonight. He's doing some math for us. He just showed me this. The Elgin defensive line weighs in at a combined 772 pounds, according to their roster.
Yeah, that's only 3 of their guys. 3 of their defensive linemen come out to 772. They're huge up there. And you know, they're playing hard tonight. It's going to be hard for Hester to keep that up, but so far, Hester with the upper hand early on in this game, nearly through in the first quarter.
It was about a 44-yard run you were talking about, Stephen, on 2nd and 18 that Hester was able to make to get the Patriots a first down. As Reed Honstein is out to kick the ball off, and Elgin has 3 return men back deep. Honstein's kick is up, and it will be returned, or it goes out of bounds, actually. Looked returnable for a moment from our vantage point here in the press box, but that will draw the flag, and Elgin should get some pretty good field position out of this.
Yeah, Honstein usually really reliable. He's had many touchbacks so far this season. That time, just unable to control it a whole lot. It goes out of bounds. As Elgin, it looks like they elect for the re-kick, so they want a chance to return. So they'll do it one more time.
As David mentioned, only a little bit of wind tonight. However, the flag's not blowing too much right now on the top of the goalposts. There's a little bit of a breeze, but nothing to make the ball go out of bounds. That's all on Honstein, unfortunately. It is also very cold outside as all of the crowd underneath us, Stephen, are bundled up. This is not like that Elgin game last year where they did not have room for us in the press box, and we had to sit in these very same temperatures, and that was not a fun night, especially considering the final score. But Honstein re-kicks the ball and nearly goes out of bounds, but takes an Eastview bounce and will go out of bounds past the pylon for the touchback. So Elgin will get the ball at their own 25-yard line with 2:53 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, on Elgin's first drive of the game, they were really pretty balanced. They had some runs up the middle. They didn't have as much success running outside, but a couple play-action passes, and you know, I look forward to seeing what they come out with here after the interception on that last drive.
Yeah, that last drive, that interception was caused by quarterback Peter McFarland just kind of underthrowing the ball. See if he has gotten over that mistake. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Shotgun formation for Elgin. They send a man in motion. It's a triple option and a handoff to the running back, who is stopped almost immediately at the line of scrimmage. Taking the handoff was Trevon Black, the running back for Elgin, and he's brought down by Roland Hines.
It's a good job by Hines to grab his jersey and not let him get any further. Could have potentially broken past that initial front, but someone grabbed his jersey and kind of held him back, and the rest of the gang joined in.
A gain of 1 yard on that play for Elgin, so this brings up 2nd down and 9 from the 26-yard line. Shotgun formation for Elgin. McFarland hands the ball off to one of his 2 backs, and it is Black again, but he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage by 2 Eastview Patriot defenders, DK Little and Roland Hines again. So 2 tackles in a row for Roland Hines, Stephen.
Yeah, he's a force up front. He's always in the backfield creating havoc, and he's showing that tonight early and often.
Loss of 3 for the Wildcats brings up 3rd down and long, 12 to be exact. Ball on the 23-yard line. McFarland in the shotgun formation. Only 1 running back this time. 2 wide receivers to the right. And McFarland fakes a handoff. He throws to the right side. That pass is nearly intercepted yet again by Reed Honstein. Playing a little bit of defense tonight.
It's a flag down over in the area. Could be a push-off. It's a question of, is it offensive or defensive?
Pass falls incomplete as McFarland tried to throw into double coverage again. Defensive holding called on DK Little. So an automatic 1st down for the Wildcats, and that's not what you want to see on 3rd down.
No, I mean, Honstein is known for his foot as he is the kicker, but that time showing off his hands, almost came up with a one-handed snag interception, but it ultimately ends up a 1st down for Elgin as DK Little called for the holding.
So 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Elgin in shotgun formation. McFarland all alone in the back. Sends a man in motion from right to left, and it's a design quarterback sneak. quarterback run, I should say, and McFarland rushes out to the right side, picks up 3, maybe 4 yards before being brought down by Trevon Watts.
4-yard gain on the play, second down.
He just couldn't get around that right edge, but he did pick up a decent amount of yardage, did McFarland. Brings up second down and 6 from the Elgin 37-yard line with just over a minute to go here in the first quarter. Patriots lead at 7-0. McFarland all alone in the shotgun formation. He rolls out to the left side and has a man caught at the 50-yard line and brought down. Making the catch is Tyron McFarland, and he's tackled by Chris Honstein. That'll be a first down for Elgin, just short of the 50-yard line.
That was a bullet thrown by McFarland to McFarland, and it had to be, as he caught him right as he came back on his comeback route, and just well placed, good timing, and picks up the first down.
Elgin taking their sweet time. 12 seconds on the play clock, 38 seconds left on the game clock, so they got to get a play off here pretty quick. 5 seconds on the play clock. Elgin now takes the snap. It's shotgun formation, 2 backs again. It's a handoff to number 8, who rushes out, sweeps out to the right side, picks up a first down, and is brought down. On the carry for Elgin was Trey Isom, the wide receiver, and he was tackled by Reed Honstein.
He'll have enough for the Elgin first down. Tripped up by number 33, Reed Honstein.
And Isom is brought down at the 37-yard line, so Elgin makes it into Patriot territory, and just over 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Elgin's going to get one more play off before the end of the first quarter. And McFarland takes the snap, keeps it himself on a read option, rushes up the middle towards the right hash mark, and is brought down at the 35-yard line as the buzzer sounds, ending the first quarter. Dre Davis making the tackle for the Patriots. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Eastview leads it 7-0 over Elgin, battling for that fourth playoff spot in the district standings. Again, we thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm Travis Banks, joined alongside Steven Strong and David England, a special guest joining us tonight in the press box. Unfortunately, we don't have a third headset, so he can join in with some of his knowledge. He's helping us out a lot tonight, Steven, with a lot of statistics we normally wouldn't be able to give you.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick first quarter. Overall, back and forth down the field, just a couple, a turnover by Elgin as they threw an interception on their first drive. Patriots were able to take advantage of that. But, a lot of up and down the field, not a whole lot of scoring as we still have just a 7-0 ball game. But Elgin has had success against this Eastview defense, throwing a lot of different looks out there, and with their quarterback, Peter McFarland, he's listed actually on their roster as a quarterback and running back, so we know he can use his legs.
On second down and 7, it's a handoff to the back, Trayvon Black, and he might have picked up a first down depending on where the referees spot the ball. He's brought down by Ben Simons. The referees rule him just short, so it'll be 3rd and inches. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. 3rd and very, very manageable for Elgin, as McFarland will take his time getting his instructions from the Elgin sideline.
I wouldn't be surprised to see another quarterback keeper here.
There's 2 running backs, one surrounding McFarland on both sides, and it's a handoff to Black again. He rushes up the middle and is almost instantly brought down by DK Little, but he does pick up the first down for Elgin.
Yeah, someone got an arm on him as he crossed the line to gain, and it slowed him down a little bit, but he was able to fight it off and pick up the extra yard needed.
Ball will be spotted at the 26-yard line as Elgin has a fresh set of downs to work with. But the team slow to get in formation. And here we go, 10 seconds on the play clock. McFarland in the shotgun formation. The only back is on his left side, and it's a design quarterback run as McFarland will rush up the middle towards the left hash mark, brought down at about the 25-yard line by Trevon Watts and Stefan Reyes of Eastview.
He only gains 1 there. We've seen quarterbacks have success running against this Eastview defense this year, and so far tonight they have prepared well for McFarland, and so far they've kept him in check.
As Elgin continuing to milk the clock, 6 seconds remain on the play clock, and now Elgin gets set up very quickly now. Sends a man in motion from left to right. It's the tight end. McFarland pitches the ball to Black, and Black has a huge hole on the right side as he's brought down at the 15-yard line by Stefan Reyes.
It'll be Reyes on the tackle. That'll be enough for the Wildcat first down.
And David England is theorizing that Elgin is milking the clock, so Eastview will not be able to hold on to the ball and not be able to give it to Zion Hester.
Yeah, Eastview is a team that scores pretty quick and can put up points pretty fast on you throughout the game, and Elgin definitely doing a good job of keeping it away from that man, Zion Hester.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Elgin sends a man in motion. It's another read option with McFarland, the quarterback, keeping the ball and rushing up to the right side. Makes it to the 15-yard line before being brought down by Stefan Reyes and a whole slew of Patriot defenders. Might have gained a yard on that play. But another good reason to keep, try to do these short runs and milk the clock, Stephen, is to leave this Eastview defense on the field. We've seen throughout the season that they've had issues with their depth, going all the way back to that Brenham game where they were on the field for quite some time in the second half and ultimately ended up giving up a huge lead. 2nd down and 9, ball at the 15-yard line. McFarland keeps the ball himself and rushes towards the left side, makes it to the middle of the hash marks, and is brought down just short of the 10-yard line by Chris Honstein. Brings up 3rd down for the Wildcats. We'll see where they spot the ball. They're going to say that was a 2-yard gain for Elgin, so it's 3rd and 7, ball on the 13-yard line.
And I tell you, as Honstein checks out here on this 3rd down play, he's having a heck of a game. That was tremendous play recognition there. He saw McFarland never looked up. He knew he was running, and he came from his corner spot and brought him down. He's really the only one who could have brought him down as he ran to the left side, and Honstein was there to make sure he didn't get any further, as a timeout, I believe, is called here by Elgin.
Elgin will take their first time out. Indeed. With 8:03 remaining here in the first half, Elgin has held on to the ball for this entire second quarter, and even a couple of minutes going back to the first quarter. They still only trail 7-0, Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it so far all night. Elgin is having success on their offense against this Eastview defense, with the exception of that one interception thrown by McFarland, but they've come out with a lot of different looks, a lot of option play, read option, pitch option, and it's throwing off this defense. They don't know who's going to have the ball on any given play, and it's a good job by Elgin to keep them on their toes. And at the same time, Elgin really hasn't had a huge play yet. They've just kind of methodically and slowly, chunk by chunk, taken away the field, and here they find themselves in the red zone facing a 3rd and 7. This is a big play here for both teams.
Shotgun formation for Elgin. Black is the back. McFarland takes the snap, rolls out to the left side. He throws. He's got a man in the end zone, but no, the pass falls incomplete. Intended for Tyron McFarland. Well covered by the Eastview defense. Zion Hester actually is the defensive player breaking up that pass play and running McFarland off of his intended route. So this will bring out the Elgin kicking team with 7:59 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times these past couple weeks, where on 3rd down they'll put Zion in at corner, and he's had success doing so. And I guess that if as a kick is up, it hits the upright. No good.
A 30-yard field goal attempt by the kicker, Aaron Arce, falls short. As you said, Stephen, it hit that left goal post. So the score will remain 7-0 Patriots with 7:54 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and to get back to what I was saying, we talked about Elgin playing keep away from this Patriot offense and trying to keep it away from Zion Hester. Well, Eastview says, hey, you're not going to let our man have it. We'll put him out there and see if he can take it from you, as Zion gets out there on defense, makes a huge play on 3rd down that results in the missed field goal.
1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line, but the referees throw some flags and blow a bunch of whistles before the play can begin.
This might be a false start. There was movement on the right side of the line here for Eastview, I believe.
Quick score update thanks to David England. Weiss at Brenham tonight. Weiss, of course, winless both in district and in overall games this season. They currently trail Brenham 7-14. In that, it has 11 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. You know, something interesting about Brenham, Stephen, is that they went on a bit of a winning streak after beating Eastview. I think they've won 4 in a row. They lost last week, but they've got that 2nd place spot in the district standings locked up. As on 1st down and 15 for the Patriots, it's a handoff to Zion Hester, and Zion Hester fights his way to the right side of the field, making it back to the original line of scrimmage, and they're going to give him 1 yard extra. Terrell Johnson making the tackle for the Wildcats.
6-yard gain on the play, bring up 2nd down.
So add 6 to Zion Hester's already incredible yardage numbers tonight. On 2nd down and 9 from the 21, it's a screen pass caught by Devon Little, and Devon Little is brought down at the 25-yard line by, again, Terrell Johnson of Elgin. This brings up 3rd down and manageable, about 5 yards for the Patriots. And Terrell Johnson also listed as a wide receiver in addition to a defensive back.
Yeah, that play was a little slow to get going. Once again, another low snap that Colson has to handle. He did a better job handling it that time, but he just had to bend down and was late getting the ball to
Devon Little.
Devon Little, yes, thank you.
5 seconds to go on the play clock. Jackson Colson still looking towards the sideline. 3-2. I think they're going to have to use a timeout. And Coach Davies right next to the sideline referee, and he will call that timeout with 6:36 remaining, as Eastview just suffering from a lot of miscommunication on that play. And while we're in this timeout, we'll check some more score updates. Cedar Creek, who Eastview defeated 40-3 last week, is visiting Marble Falls, and with 4:45 remaining in the 1st quarter, Marble Falls is currently leading Cedar Creek 7-0. And you know, speaking of these broadcasts, Stephen, Eastview and Georgetown both going to be in the playoffs next week, and we are looking for sponsors for those broadcasts. If you are interested, I believe Rob said the spots are going to be about $50 per game. So if you're interested in one of those spots, reach out to Rob Hipp, the founder of SHN Sports, at rob@shnsports.com, rob@shnsports.com. And another score update for you. Bastrop currently tied with Glenn at 14 all with 2:36 remaining in the 1st quarter. As we're back to action here at Birkelbach Field in Georgetown, as on 3rd and 4, a long pass play from Jackson Colson is caught by Caden Harris. Harris tackled past the 1st down line by Willie Simmons III.
It was a nice catch, nice play by Harris to kind of slide to a stop and dive on the ball low to the ground from Colson.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line for Eastview. It's a handoff to Zion Hester from the shotgun formation. Zion Hester dodges a couple of defenders and makes it past the 1st down line, across the 50 as well. Runs out of bounds around the 45-yard line, and he's shoved out of bounds by Taryn Johnson, a junior cornerback.
Hester's so good at shifty running and dodging and juking, but even that time he lowered his shoulder into Harris and just lowered the boom. He's not afraid of contact either.
Hester ran out of space on that play. Otherwise, he probably would have been gone. This brings up a 1st and 10 from the Elgin 48-yard line for Eastview. Just under 6 minutes remaining until halftime. Jackson Colson in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to his left side. He's going to throw to one of those receivers. It's caught by Jeremiah Knight. And Knight on the left side, he rushes forward for a couple of yards after making the catch. And he's tackled just short of the 40-yard line by Terrell Johnson. The This brings up 2nd and 3 from the 41-yard line, and Eastview in hurry-up mode. It's a handoff to Hester, and Hester can't quite find space in between the linemen, and he gained a yard, maybe 2, just short of the first down, and Hester brought down by another one of those monsters on the Elgin defensive line, 280-pound Jordan Hood.
And they actually gave him the first down on that one.
So Eastview, indeed, they will move the chains. Jackson Colson with a quick pass to the left side. It is dropped, intended for Devon Little. The play is broken up by Elgin's Davion Isom at about the 20-yard line. And Eastview, a great play in theory. Jackson Colson making the quick fade route to Devon Little. And as we've mentioned before, Stephen, if you put Devon Little in a one-on-one situation, he typically will beat his defender. However, that was more of a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, it honestly was a good throw. It's just excellent defense on the coverage.
And they're going to try a similar play, a screen pass to the left side, caught by Devon Little at the 35-yard line, and Devon Little makes it to the 30 before being brought down by Davion Isom again. And this brings up 3rd and very short for the Patriots. 3rd and 1. Ball will be spotted at the 29-yard line. Eastview hurrying up. 3rd and 1. It's a handoff to Hester. Hester up the middle, has a first down, and is brought down just after passing the 25-yard line. Hester tackled on that play by one of the Wildcats, 34, who we do not have on our roster, so I apologize for that. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the 23-yard line. They're inching closer and closer to the red zone. Jackson Colson looks over to the sideline to get instructions. Eastview will come out on the shotgun formation. 2 receivers on the right side, 1 to the left. There is a second running back in as well, forming at the tight end. A bit of a pistol formation, actually. Jackson Colson drops back, throws. Pass is nearly intercepted up the middle, intended for Devon Little, and Daniel Gonzalez is going to be the defensive back credited for that swat down, and nearly an interception, Steven. Jackson Colson trying to thread the needle on that one.
Yeah, Colson knew he had a man over the top. He kind of floated it over. He just didn't put enough on there, and forced Little to play defender on that play, and thankfully he was able to knock it away, but Eastview lives to see another day here on this drive.
That was actually the safety, Trevor Magnuson, with that near interception, as on 2nd and 10, it will be another handoff up the middle by Eastview, and a late flag just as the ball carrier is tackled by Jordan Hood of the Wildcats. And we'll see what this late flag is about. It was thrown by the back judge.
This could be unnecessary roughness or something going on in the secondary.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense, number 26.
A face mask called on Jerome Ray,
Be automatic first down.
who's listed as a 200-pound senior linebacker and running back. So that will result in a first down for Eastview as the clock stops with 3:59 remaining here in this second quarter. And Eastview knocking on the door and looking to extend their lead. Right now they lead at 7-0 over Elgin. A win tonight for Elgin would pretty much lock them into the playoffs as they hold victory tiebreakers over the other competing teams. And on 1st and 10 from the 10, it's a handoff to Zion Hester, but he has nowhere to go. He's tackled again by Jordan Hood, that 280-pound beast of a tackle.
This game's getting a little more physical, a little more chippy down there as some extra pushing and shoving going on. But guys battling down there trying to get into the end zone and keep them out of the end zone.
This will bring up 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Eastview bunching up in a pistol formation. Jackson Colson takes the snap, and he's going to throw a fade route to Devon Little. Devon Little, no! He drops the catch. He bobbled it in the end zone. And broken up by Teron Johnson, who has had Devon Little's number for a majority of this drive, Stephen.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job against Devon Little. That time, Little probably could have brought it in if he had been able to snag it initially. He bobbled it a little bit, and that gave enough room for his defender to knock it away from him.
This will be 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line now. Jackson Colson in the pistol formation yet again, sends 2 men in motion from right to left. Colson takes the snap and he pitches it to Zion Hester. Zion rushes out to the left side and makes it to about the 8-yard line, maybe the 7, before being brought down. And he's brought down again by Teron Johnson. And looks like Eastview is going to send out their kicking team. That indeed they will. Reed Honstein coming out to attempt what will be a 24-yard field goal. Snap is good. The kick is up. And Honstein's 24-yard attempt is good. So with 2:17 remaining in the first half, Reed Honstein extends Eastview's lead, and they go up 10-0 over Elgin.
Both teams still with 2 timeouts remaining here for the remainder of this second quarter. But pretty impressive drive put together there by the Patriots. They don't get into the end zone like they wanted, but they're still able to bring something positive out of it on a Honstein kick. And with a 10-point lead, you can't ask for much more against this desperate Wildcat team.
Steven, I've got to consider that a win for the Elgin defense. They bent, but they didn't break. As you said, it came down to a goal situation, a 3rd and goal situation, and great defensive coverage each time. Elgin prevented Eastview from getting into the end zone, and it's still just a 2-possession deficit, a very manageable 10-point deficit for Elgin, who, with a win tonight, would pretty much clinch that 4th playoff spot in district. District standings, Glenn leads the district with only 1 district loss. They're in 1st place. Eastview currently in 3rd. Elgin currently battling for that 4th place spot with Bastrop, as Reed Honstein's kick is up, taken at around the 15-yard line by Trey Isom, and he is viciously brought down by D.K. Little, who just, I think he's going to draw a late flag, and indeed he does. Seemed like some unnecessary roughness. As the referees decide what that flag is going to be about, we'll update you on another score. Brenham is currently leading Weiss 21-7 with 7:19 remaining in the second quarter. That game taking place in Brenham.
Well, this might be a case of the guy who reacted second getting caught. From what I saw up here is the returner kind of got frustrated and pushed one of the Eastview Patriots down, and then the Patriots reacted and kind of got in his face. We'll see what the call is.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. On number 8 of the return team.
You're right, Steven. They're calling that on Trey Isom, the returner who was tackled.
Yeah, so they did get it right. From what I saw up here is Eastview reacted. They didn't really throw a punch or push him, but they were just kind of getting him away from their guy, and good teammates to kind of back up their guy, and just an unnecessary play there by the returner.
Bring up 1st and 10 from Elgin's own 8-yard line, and it's a handoff to Trayvon Black, who has nowhere to go. I'm sorry, that was Peter McFarland keeping the snap on a design quarterback run. He gained maybe a yard, maybe a half a yard. They're going to rule 2nd down and 10. So Elgin still within the shadows of their own goal post. And another score update from the other game taking place right now on the SHN Sports Network. Jarrell is currently leading Manor New Tech by a score of 20-0, and that game is in the second quarter. Second quarter just started. And you can search for that game on shnsports.com. I know we were having trouble with the website. If the website is still down, you can go ahead to YouTube and search for Manor New Tech versus Jarrell.
Yeah, and a short handoff here on this play, and more activity going on after the play was blown dead. A terrific job to stay on his feet, but Stephon Reyes was able to stop him, stop his forward progress, spin him around a couple times, and yeah, this game's getting pretty chippy.
3rd down and 8 with less than a minute to go here. Play clock at 5. And Elgin does have 2 timeouts remaining, and they will use one of those 2 timeouts. So we'll go ahead and keep it right here. We want to thank you for choosing to spend your Friday night with us here on Friday Night Football on SHN Sports. I'm Travis Banks, joined alongside Stephen Strong, as always. David England in the booth helping us out with a couple of things tonight, scores and stats and all that kind of good stuff. And a couple of other score updates for you right now. Hutto currently leading Rouse 20-0 at halftime. McCallum, that's Travis. McCallum is leading Travis 42-0. I thought for a second that said Lake Travis. Cedar Park is currently leading Manor 21-7 at halftime. And Cedar Creek currently trails Marble Falls 14-0 towards the end of the first quarter. Meanwhile, Glenn and Bastrop still tied down in Bastrop at 14 all, and Weiss still trailing Brenham 7-21 in the about midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, that first game you mentioned, McCallum, that's my alma mater. I was at their pep rally earlier today as they get set for the Battle of the Bell, a huge tradition between McCallum and Travis, and it looks like McCallum's going to be able to keep the bell for another consecutive year.
3rd down and 8 for Elgin. Ball on the 10-yard line, and it's a handoff. And I'm sorry, that was a quarterback keeper by Peter McFarland. Again, he's tackled by Dalton Love, and Peter McFarland able to break free and gain a first down. He's brought down by Love at about the 25-yard line. Sorry, just short of the 25-yard line. Referees will spot it at the 22. So on 1st and 10, Elgin will hand the ball off this time to Black. Black is brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line, brought down by Christian Cortez. And 15 seconds remaining on the game clock now, Steven. You got to think Eastview or Elgin is just going to let this clock run down.
Yeah, they're deep in their own territory, unable to, the chances they're doing anything. They don't want to make any mistakes as the clock strikes 0. But something positive as we are at halftime for Elgin is that they finally kind of broke free on a McFarland quarterback keeper. He was able to pick up that first down on that 3rd and 8, I believe it was, and kind of got something going through the ground game, which could go back to the lack of depth that we talked about of this Eastview defense kind of wearing down some, as we've seen them do in weeks past. And we'll see what happens in the second half, but some positivity going forward for Elgin.
That's right, and Elgin's held on to the ball for so long tonight, Stephen. Eastview hasn't really had many chances to get the ball into the hands of their star players. Zion Hester does have a touchdown and a couple of big, long runs. Zion Hester's touchdown coming from 2 yards out back in the first quarter on a goal line situation. And Jackson Colson, to his credit, has tried to throw several touchdown passes to Devon Little. It's just that great defensive coverage by Elgin's Johnson brothers that have really flustered Devon Little tonight. He's had a couple of catches, but none of the catches have really gone for many yards. And with that, we will take a brief commercial break, and when we return, we will have the halftime festivities. First, the Elgin Wildcat Band, and then the Eastview Patriot Band. Stay tuned. You're watching Friday Night Football on SHN Sports.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Showing Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Showing Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Showing Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Bach Field in Georgetown, Texas, where at halftime, the East Patriots lead it 10-0 over the Elgin Wildcats. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us again tonight for Friday Night Football on SHN Sports. I'm Travis Baines, joined alongside Steven Strong, David England joining us in the broadcast booth here. We're going to go ahead and pause and let the bands take it away. Elgin High School Band currently on the field performing. We'll see you after halftime, folks.
Eastview High School and Georgetown ISD are proud to present the Darlings of Georgetown, Texas, the award-winning Sparklers Dance. By the 2018-2019 dance officers, Junior Lieutenant Aubrey Jordan, Senior Lieutenant Jackie Adams, First Lieutenant Madison Rand, and Captain Peyton Russell. Sparkler social officers are Emma Aguirre, Samantha Vidales, and Head Social Officer Erica Pineda. Sparkler of the Week is Lauren Ramirez. Spirit Girl of the Week is Viviana Perez. Tonight, the Sparklers present a sharp, high-energy military routine to hand clap. Take it away, Sparklers. Let's hear it, home crowd, for the Eastview Sparklers. The Sparklers are under the direction of Tracy Marina, she is assisted by Stephanie Fisher and Mindy Rowe. The Sparklers manager is Viviana Perez.
Hello Eastview fans, and welcome to Senior Night 2018. Representing cheer, Selena Avila, accompanied by her parents, Luis and Aubrey Avila. Next, we have Captain Lauren Ellis, accompanied by her parents, Chris and Jennifer Ellis. Spirit Leader, Jocelyn Franco, accompanied by Monica Dominguez. Next we have Diamond Gomez Sedgwick, accompanied by Michael and Alana Sedgwick. And now Taylor Hansen, accompanied by Amy, Bob, and Bailey Hansen. And now Emily Richardson, accompanied by Christina Richardson and Jack Richardson. And now on to Carissa Rudder, accompanied by Roger and Lindsay Rudder, and Mother Angie and Rocky Bray. And next, Captain Kaylee Valadez, accompanied by Victor and Holly Valadez. Next we have Taylor Valadez, accompanied by Father Tilo Valadez, Mother Shauna, and Hans Bauer. Now on to the Sparkler Seniors. First off, we have Jacqueline Adams, accompanied by EJ and Sheila Adams. Jacqueline is the senior lieutenant of the Sparklers. Now, Roger Castillo, accompanied by Roger and Sandra Castillo. Valerie Castro is next, accompanied by Frolian and Julia Castro. And now Kimberly Lopez, accompanied by Eric Lopez and Olga Charez. And now, Head Social Officer Erica Pineda, accompanied by Carlos and Brenda Pineda. Moving on to First Lieutenant Madison Rand, accompanied by Curtis and Amy Groves and David Light. Following her is Captain Peyton Russell, accompanied by Rusty and Victoria Russell. Our lone senior starlet of the evening is Miss Carla Amaro, accompanied by Ronaldo and Minerva Amaro. She is the first sergeant of the starlets. Moving on to our senior band. First off, we have Alexandria Alford, accompanied by Lori and Austin Alford. And now Carla Arista, accompanied by Maria Rodriguez and Esteban Arista. Up next, we have Hunter Cruz, accompanied by Christy and Philip Cruz. And moving on to Chloe Ekdahl, accompanied by Mary Beth Quintanilla and Daryl Ekdahl. And now Sean Gaston, accompanied by Angela and Keith Gaston. Madison Heil is up next, accompanied by Amy and Jason Heil. Moving on to Tanner Hengst, accompanied by Leanne and Ronald Hengst. Next up we have Isabella Lara, accompanied by Usha and Arthur Lara. Now we have Emily Mayo, accompanied by Kelly and Jeremy Mayo. Next up we have Oscar Menchaca, accompanied by Eric and Doris Gonzalez. Moving on, we have Jacqueline Padron, accompanied by Irma and Jose Padron. Keeping it moving, we now move on to Sarah Price, accompanied by Andrea and Michael Price. Next up, we have Elias Rivera, accompanied by Cynthia and Angel Martinez. Moving on to Joanna Rosales, accompanied by Petra Vasquez and Francisco Rosales. Now moving on to Leo Shalabido, accompanied by Michael and Svetlana Sanger. And finally, Madeline Widlowski, accompanied by Becky and Tom Widlowski. Let's hear it for all the seniors. Please join along with our seniors in the Eastview High School song.
Georgetown, Texas, where we are just about 2 minutes away from the kickoff of the second half between this game with the Elgin Wildcats and the Eastview Patriots. Eastview currently leading 10-0. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for Friday Night Football on SHN Sports. I'm Travis Banks, joined alongside Stephen Strong and David England, helping us out on the broadcast tonight. A couple of brief score updates as Eastview takes the field for the second time tonight, running through their senior night banner here at Georgetown ISD Athletic Complex. Scores from around the district towards the end of the second quarter. Bastrop currently leads Glenn 21-14. Marble Falls leads Cedar Creek 14-3 towards the end of the second quarter. Brenham and Weiss, that game is currently at halftime, and Brenham currently leads Weiss 21-7. And other scores around Central Texas of note. Last night, Georgetown defeated Connolly over in Pflugerville at the new Pflugerville ISD Stadium by a score of 34-15. And games tonight, currently in the third quarter, Hutto is leading Rouse 27-0, and Cedar Park is currently leading Manor 21-7 at halftime. And of course, our other game tonight on the SHN Sports Network, Manor New Tech currently trails Jarrell by a score of 34-0. That game is nearing halftime as well. Michael Francis and Thomas Montemayor are on the call over there just a couple miles north of us up in Jarrell. Your weather for this second half is currently looking, we got some light rain coming into the area, and where that rain goes is a mystery. It's anyone's guess right now. It's currently hovering between Georgetown and Round Rock, and how bad that rain is has yet to be seen. How much rain is coming down has yet to be seen, I should say. But light rain is in the area. We're hoping it can avoid this portion of the stadium. Currently 49 degrees outside. The wind is blowing north at 8 miles an hour, and we've got 67% humidity down on the field as both teams have set up for the second half kickoff. Elgin won the coin toss and elected to defer, so they will get control of the ball, possession of the ball to start this second half off. And if you're just tuning in, Eastview leads it 10-0 over the Wildcats. And the first half, Stephen, really went by pretty quick, mostly because Elgin just dominated in time of possession, holding onto the ball, so Eastview could not hand the ball off to Zion Hester or get the ball into Devon Little's hands as Elgin returns the kickoff at the 10-yard line. And taken to the 15, returning the ball is Davion Isom for Elgin, and making the tackle there was Dalton Love.
Yeah, excellent coverage there to start off this second half. Travis, you said it already. Elgin doing their job, their part to keep this Eastview offense off the field, and they were pretty successful at it so far. Zion getting some plays on defense as well, as we've seen in past weeks, but overall a solid effort by both teams. Patriots just have been the ones to actually put points on the board.
First and 10 from the 15 for Elgin on their opening possession of the second half. It's a handoff to the running back Black, who sweeps out to the right side, runs out of space, and is pushed out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line. Stephon Reyes responsible for pushing Trayvon Black out of bounds. And I do believe we are having difficulties with our crowd microphone, so apologies in that regard. I'm assuming we finally ran out of batteries over there. All right, well, we'll go buy some AA, AAA batteries on the way home, then get set up for the playoff game next week. Second down and 7 for the Elgin Wildcats. As, again, they continue to milk the play clock. Okay, so the play clock resets because there was an error in the game clock. They added a couple of seconds. Went from 11:28 to back to 11:43. So now, second down and 7 for Elgin. Peter McFarland, the quarterback in the shotgun formation, he fakes a handoff and he throws over the middle. He's got a man nearly caught, bounced off the fingertips at the 50-yard line. The intended receiver was number 8, Trey Isom, and that pass play on the coverage was DK Little.
Yeah, that was one of the best throws that we've seen from McFarland tonight. It was deep over the middle, and he laid it in his breadbasket just perfectly and just unable to snag it in just right off his fingertips. A huge missed opportunity here for Elgin.
Brings up 3rd down and 7 ball on the 18-yard line. McFarland all alone in the shotgun formation. He drops back after taking the snap. He's got all day to throw. He throws towards the right side. That pass play broken up, intended for Tyron McFarland, broken up by Zion Hester on defense, making some plays. And that brings up a punting situation for Elgin. And most importantly as well, the clock has now been stopped. So Eastview can get back into the game in terms of the time of possession stat here.
Yeah, Hester on that play looked more like a defensive big man in basketball, just kind of jumped up and hit that ball out of bounds and nobody had a chance of getting it, swatted it away.
And Elgin now out to punt in the shadow of their own goalpost. The punter barely gets it away, and it will take a bounce at around the 50-yard line and will be fielded there as well. Isaiah Quentin Jackson not having a chance to return the ball. Davion Isom is the Elgin Wildcat who was able to down the ball. And the ball is going to be marked at the Elgin 49-yard line. So Eastview will start their first possession of the second half in enemy territory on the Elgin side of the field.
Yeah, pretty short punt, and that was probably due to the pressure that the punter felt. Nearly got it blocked. He just kind of had to kick it just to get it out of there.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. The Elgin 49-yard line. It's a screen pass caught by Caden Harris, but he had one knee on the ground, and the referees are going to rule that an incomplete pass, so that will bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Eastview has had a pretty balanced attack tonight. Zion Hester, of course, getting his as he usually does, but Colson has looked pretty sharp through the air.
2nd and 10. It's a handoff up the middle to Zion Hester. Zion Hester gains a couple of yards, at least 5 before being brought down, trying to spin around some defenders. But Brian Solario, the 277-pound senior defensive tackle, able to bring Hester down, setting up 3rd and 4 as Eastview goes into the hurry-up offense. And it's another handoff to Zion Hester. He makes it close to the 1st down marker, but I do not think he got it. Willie Simmons III able to get inside. And this will bring up a 4th and 1 at the 40-yard line.
And we saw this exact situation on the Patriots' opening drive to start this game. And that time they elected for the quarterback sneak on 4th and 1. This time Colson is not under center. He lines up in shotgun, and we'll see if they'll decide to put it through the air.
4th and 1, Jackson Colson hands the ball off to, that's Zion Hester, and Zion Hester breaks free to the 10. Touchdown, Eastview. Zion Hester, 40 yards. Just like that, he dodged through several defenders. A huge hole was created for him by the blocking wide receivers, and Zion Hester adds 40 yards and a 2nd touchdown tonight to his already impressive stat line.
Well, when you need to pick up a 1st down, who else do you call on other than Zion Hester? We saw him break a 40-yarder on a 2nd and 18, and that time on a 4th and 1, he just takes it to the house to increase this Patriots lead.
Reed Honstein out to attempt the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 10-11 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Patriots take a commanding 3-score lead over the Elgin Wildcats, 17-0. And we apologize for all of the technical issues we are having. Crowd mic has run out of batteries, and you'll see this on the video replay as our video seems to have gone out. Really nothing we can do about that. We're lucky enough to be able to feed into the Eastview, this Birkelbach Stadium Jumbotron here. And if we need to, we can always grab our trusty old video camera, which we might have to do. I think we have David England here. He can run the camera for us. So 3 return men back deep to return for the Elgin Wildcats. Reed Honstein, his kickoff is up. He had a couple kickoffs go out of bounds back at the beginning of the game in the first half. This kick does not go out of bounds. It will actually go past the goal line and into the end zone for a touchback. So Elgin will get some decent field position now following that touchback. They'll get the ball at their own 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Wildcats. Peter McFarland all alone in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap, and it's a design run by the quarterback. McFarland will rush up towards the left hash mark and is brought down after a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for the Wildcats. It will officially be a 2-yard gain, bringing up second down and 8. And they're changing the spot of the ball. It will be second down and 7, so a 3-yard rush by Peter McFarland. And on second down, he's all alone again in the shotgun formation. It's another design scramble for Peter McFarland, and he has nowhere to go as almost immediately as he starts to step up into the pocket, he's brought down by Eastview's Isaiah Knight. And that will bring up a Wildcat third down and 8. It's third down and 8. McFarland takes the snap and he throws, intended for his running back, Trevon Black, but the pass falls short and falls incomplete, and it brings up yet another punting situation for the Elgin Wildcats. So it's up fourth down and 8. And apologies for these slow calls. We're working on setting up our backup video camera, as this will be seen on the video replay tomorrow, or should be uploaded around midnight tonight. And the way Elgin's punt is away, and it is fielded at the 50-yard line, and that is where Eastview's offense will go to work. Right in the middle of the field. So first and 10 from the 50 for the Patriots. They send a man in motion. It's Devon Little, and Devon Little takes a handoff and sweeps out to the right side and loses control of the ball. Looked to me like he lost control after he was brought down. Gain of maybe a yard. Eastview falls on it no matter what. The referees will rule that Devon Little was down, and they say he gained about 3 yards on that run. So that brings up a second down and 7. The ball will be spotted at the Elgin 47-yard line. And on second down, it's a handoff to Isaiah Quentin Jackson. Quentin Jackson sweeps out to the left side, and he's got all day to run to the 10 into the end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Quentin Jackson, 47-yard rushing touchdown. Eastview takes a commanding 23-0 lead, hot off the heels of Isaiah Quentin Jackson going from defense onto offense and scoring a touchdown on his first run of the night.
Yeah, Jackson definitely a speedster. He's just as quick, if not quicker, than Zion Hester. A little less physical, a little undersized, but just turned on the jets there on the left sideline and ran all the way to the end zone. No one had a chance at catching him. And as you said, Travis, as the extra point is up, and it is good from Honstein, but we saw that during Hester's sophomore year here at Eastview. He was mainly a safety. Torrey Davis, the lead back then, and Hester got some playing time at running back. And as it went on, he became the feature back, and so we could see something similar in store for Jackson, as he's playing safety primarily here as a sophomore on varsity, and get some playing time here late in the season at running back, and he's making the most of it, showing these coaches that, hey, I can do either one. Put me in wherever you want, I can make a difference. And that time he gives the Patriots the 24-0 lead.
And again, Eastview, or I should say Elgin, needs to win this game to be able to make it into the playoffs, because a loss tonight would really hurt their chances. They'd have to hope for a Bastrop loss tonight as well. And things are not looking good as they have fallen behind 24-0, giving up 14 straight points on 2 Eastview possessions to start this third quarter off. .7:57 to go in the third quarter here as both teams return to the field. Set to kick off to Elgin is Eastview. And Reed Honstein's kick is up. It's a deep kick, and it will fall into the end zone and bounce back for a touchback. Will not be returned by Elgin, so they'll get some pretty decent field position yet again, starting at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's the kind of kick we're used to from Honstein here, deep touchback. Also got the help. Looks like the wind has picked up a little bit there on the field and kind of blowing that way, so it kind of carried into the end zone as well. Still a chilly night, just getting colder and colder and windier as this night goes on.
So now Elgin will return to the field, trailing 24-0. Peter McFarland in the shotgun formation sends a man in motion from right to left, and as soon as that play gets snapped, referees...
It's going to be a delay of game. It took so long to get onto the field, and the clock hit 0 just before that snap. So it's going to knock them back 5.
I'm glad you caught that, Stephen, because I saw the referee running out on the field, the one that threw the flag, and he was rolling his arms as if it were a false start. Either way, it's 5 penalty yards added to Elgin as it's 1st and 15. McFarland drops back and throws, has a man intended for Tyron McFarland, but there's flags all over the place, and it looks like that's going to be defensive pass interference. Although Eastview is clapping, so perhaps this penalty could be on Elgin. We'll see what the referees decide, because
this might be on both sides. It could be a holding on the route on the defense, but after the play, when that ball was hit the turf and was already incomplete, McFarland kind of shoved his defender down, and unnecessarily, as the refs huddled to discuss the intent or if that was necessary, Eastview's bench was right there, and they reacted, and the ref closest to the receiver threw the flag, the second flag, and this could be offsetting penalties here. I'm not sure what that first flag would be, but I definitely think there's going to be a unnecessary roughness call against McFarland. I know that much. So it is a holding against the Patriots.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Elgin. So the Eastview penalty was 10 yards. The Elgin penalty was 15 yards. And it looks like they are going to just end up pushing Elgin back 5 yards. And
well, this should be a replay of the original play, because before that they had the delay of game, so it would have been 1st and 15 anyway. So I guess after that penalty, they'll knock them to 1st and 10. So it'll end up being a 5-yard gain for Elgin after it's all said and done.
that is exactly what they are going to do, Steven. And 1st and 10 for Elgin. McFarland drops back, and he throws deep over the middle, overthrows both the defense and the intended receiver, his running back, Trayvon Black. And that had some, McFarland put some sauce on that steak, and when, for lack of a better term, when it came to that throw, he overthrew everybody. On the coverage there was DK Little.
Yeah, not the biggest guy out there on the field, but he showed off his arm strength there, and thankfully it was overthrown for him because there were 2 Patriots in the area.
2nd down and 10 for Elgin. It's a handoff to the running back, and he tries to sweep out to the right side, has nowhere to go, loses 3, maybe 4 yards on that play, brings up 3rd down and a mile. Clock ticking, just over 7 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Peter McFarland all alone for Elgin. He takes the snap and drops back in the shotgun formation. He throws out to the left side. He's got a man. It is nearly intercepted by Eastview. Falls incomplete. The pass intended for Trey Isom and broken up by Isaiah Quentin Jackson. Great defensive coverage by the Patriots.
Yeah, Jackson with excellent position to come up with that interception. He just couldn't haul it in. They might end up getting better field position without that interception anyway on a chance for a punt return. But excellent coverage by Jackson. And the throw, it had a chance. He just kind of put it up too high, and it took too long to come down. That gave Jackson a chance to make a play on the ball, and he did. So now he'll get a chance to return this punt. As it is blocked by Eastview, it pops up into the air, and they fall on it at the 5. Punter went back. He didn't have a whole lot of space. He tried to kick it, and it was blocked, and it popped up straight into the air. And guys just had to wait on it to come down, and Eastview able to fall on it, and they'll take over from their 5 now.
So another great defensive and or special teams play by the Patriots, as they have had all sorts of success these last couple of games, Steven. This will set up Eastview's offense with some extremely good field position. And it appears our video is back. Apologies for those technical difficulties. For those of you watching the video replay, of course, this live broadcast, due to UIL rules, is unavailable to be on video, as Zion Hester on 1st and goal from the 5 marches in to the end zone up the middle for 6 more Patriot points. Eastview is breaking away, and they are making it look easy. First the blocked punt, followed up by the easy Zion Hester touchdown run, his 3rd touchdown run of the evening, and Eastview has taken a commanding 30-0 lead over the Elgin Wildcats. A simple run up the middle. Steven Zion Hester took the ball. His offensive line opened up a great hole for him, and he ran untouched into the end zone. As Reed Honstein is out to attempt the PAT, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 6:46 remaining in this 3rd quarter, The Patriots now lead it over Elgin by a score of 31-0. Elgin on 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Peter McFarland is tackled. The ball pops loose, and Eastview has it. The defender is running into the end zone untouched for a touchdown, making the fumble recovery and touchdown return. Well, Trevon Watts made the initial hit on McFarland that caused the fumble, and running it into the end zone, scooping it up, is Isaiah Knight. So another turnover for the Patriot defense, and this time it leads to 6 points. Wow, what a flurry of events happening. First the blocked punt on the last defensive series, and now a scoop and score. Put that hashtag into Twitter and send it to ESPN because we've got a highlight for them. Trevon Watts got the initial hit on Elgin quarterback Peter McFarland. The ball came loose before McFarland came down. Isaiah Knight able to scoop it up and run it in 20 yards for the defensive touchdown. Wow, what a play. Honstein out to attempt the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. So just like that, in a matter of 20 seconds, Eastview scores on defense. They now lead it over Elgin 38-0 with 6:26 remaining in the third quarter.
I tell you what, Travis, that was a heck of an effort by Knight. After he had picked up the football, he started running with it. He was tripped up initially and somehow managed to stay on his feet and got his grounding back and just ran into the end zone untouched. That initial step to stay on his feet was the key to getting to the end zone.
Indeed it was. And Eastview in total control of this game. And a big rivalry game in Southeast Texas as the Nederland Bulldogs are visiting the Port Neches Groves Indians in the Bum Phillips Bowl, also known as the Mid-County Madness. And P&G just took the lead 14-7 with 7:43 remaining in the third quarter. Shout out to SHN's Kelly Duvall. P&G is his alma mater. Thank you, David England, for those statistics and that information. Always good to hear about some scores in other areas that we don't normally report on. $20,000 people sellouts every year, a year in advance. You have to buy the tickets, says David England. So, wow. Well, we're back here in Central Texas, Georgetown ISD Athletic Complex as Eastview kicks it off to Elgin, and Elgin has a chance at a decent return, but a late flag comes back out at the 10-yard line. We'll see what that is about. But on the return for Elgin was Davion Isom, and he was tackled by Colt Cobble. As we'll see what the referees have to say with this flag.
As the refs discuss this flag and the Wildcats come back out on offense, and they'll call a block in the back against the Wildcats on the return, so that'll knock them back even more here on this drive. But getting back to my point, the Patriots' defense these last few weeks has been absolutely phenomenal. You know, pitching an almost shutout. A couple of weeks ago, they allowed 3 points. The game before that, they allowed 0. Tonight, not allowing Elgin any points so far, just trying to keep this shutout going. And it seems as if the defense has just become more and more dominant as this game has gone on.
And I think they were a little embarrassed by those losses, and we'll get to that in a minute as Elgin hands the ball off, and rushing up the middle for a first down and quite a little bit more is Trayvon Black. And he moves the chains for Elgin, gets them out of the shadow of their own goal line.
Yeah, Black started to kind of slip on his own and was already heading to the ground by the time Jackson was there to make the tackle. And it's probably fortunate for that because Jackson, we just saw how speedy he was on the offensive end. He was speeding at that guy to hit him, and thankfully he just had to fall on him.
1st and 10 from the 18. Elgin on a jet sweep hands it off to their running back, Trey Isom, or their wide receiver, I should say. Isom able to get past the first down marker, brought down around the 30-yard line, and more than enough to move the chains for Elgin. Isom brought down by Eastview's Christian Cortez. So another great run and a series of them for Elgin. As the clock continues to tick, just about 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Eastview leading 38-0 over Elgin, who must win this game in order to make it into the playoffs, pretty much. 1st and 10 from the 30 for Elgin. McFarland sends a man in motion, and he hands the ball off to his running back, who sweeps out to the left side from the right, and he dodges a defender, and he's got some open room, and pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line after crossing into Eastview territory. Trayvon Black was the ball carrier on that play, and he's pushed out of bounds by Dalton Love for Eastview.
Yeah, it was a great effort by Love to, first of all, even get over there in that area, and then he wasn't in a position to hit him or knock him very hard, and he was able to just use his arm and kind of pull him out of bounds as he ran by, and was able to get him just enough to step out in order to save that from being a huge touchdown run.
25-yard run for Trayvon Black. Sets up 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line, the Eastview 45 for Elgin, and it's a read option. Peter McFarland, the quarterback, decides to keep the ball and rushes up the middle, gains 7, maybe 8 yards on the carry, crosses the 40-yard line before being brought down, and that will bring up 2nd down and manageable for Elgin, as all of a sudden they're on a roll now. Although, Stephen, I was going to bring this up at some point, leading 38-0 midway through the third quarter. If you're Coach Rob Davies, at what point do you start thinking about pulling all your starters, subbing in as we see Zion Hester enter the playing field, subbing out your starters and getting some of the underclassmen some game experience to keep your starters fresh for the playoffs?
Yeah, well, I mean, Elgin, prior to that last play, had 3 plays of over 10 yards, 3 straight first downs. Davies might want to let his guys play a little bit longer.
And on 2nd down, an attempted pass by Elgin is incomplete as the intended receiver, again, Trey Isom, he broke free of his defenders, got behind the coverage on the left side near the left sideline, and the pass just fell incomplete. Isaiah Quentin Jackson was on the coverage, and he would have gotten burned had Isom been able to haul in that pass from Peter McFarland.
Yeah, man, Isom has had some good routes today. He's running well, and he's running hard. It's just a matter of coming up with the catch. That's his 2nd huge drop on a potential game-changing play.
3rd down and 4, ball on the 39-yard line. Peter McFarland will keep the ball himself. He scrambles up the middle and gets the 1st down, maybe a yard more before being brought down by a huddle of Eastview Patriot defenders, but it's enough to move the chains and get Elgin a 1st down. Christian Cortez is going to be the main man responsible for the tackle on that play, Stephen.
Yeah, Trevon Watts that time just missed a tackle that would have brought up 4th down. He had him right where he wanted him, and McFarland was just able to kind of shimmy and spin out of it. A missed tackle there from Watts, but overall not too bad as they give up the 1st down, but only a few yards.
Just under 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Elgin all of a sudden on a drive. 1st and 10, McFarland fakes a handoff and drops back. He throws, has a man, but bouncing off the fingertips and falling incomplete, intended for Trayvon Black. On the coverage was D.K. Little for the Patriots, but another incomplete pass that really McFarland, as you said, Stephen, he's throwing right on the money. Just for whatever reason, these wide receivers are unable to haul in the catches.
Yeah, he's laying it right where they should have it. Right, good over-the-shoulder throw, just off the fingertips, and that could go back to what we talked about at the start of this game. The temperature down there is very cold. Their hands are stiff, and it hurts, and that could play a factor in these catches or drops.
It's a handoff to Trey Isom, a jet sweep to the right side, and Isom, he's getting into it with a couple of players. He was knocked back and didn't like the way he was brought down, and now he's trying to get into the face of some of the Eastview Patriot defenders, and the referees and other teammates having to pull Isom away. Gained very little yards on that play, if anything, and I see the flag over by the Elgin sideline, Stephen.
Yeah, that flag came out during the play. It was pretty quick, and it's a face mask against the Patriots. D.K. Little, he can't believe it. He was jumping around with his arms up. Nevertheless, the Elgin Wildcats have reached the red zone.
It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line as Elgin hands the ball off, and running up the middle for a nice chunk of yards is the running back Trayvon Black. And this will bring up 2nd down and manageable for Elgin.
Yeah, that pile kept moving, but they had blown the play dead after only a yard. He got stood up. They kind of held around that area, and then the pile started moving, but the ref had already called it. So it's only a 1-yard gain.
I beg your pardon. That was Tristan Carlos, the backup running back on the carry there. He subs out for the Wildcats, and Trayvon Black will substitute back in as on 2nd down and 9, ball on the 16-yard line. Elgin comes out in the shotgun formation. 1 running back, 2 receivers on the left side, and McFarland will fake a handoff and keep the ball himself. He'll scramble up the middle, and he's close to the 1st down. I think it looks like he got it, and referees are indeed going to mark him down past the 1st down yard marker. And that will get rid of the chains and set up a 1st and goal situation here on the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that was kind of a win-win play there for the Wildcats. He could have pitched it outside to his back, and he had a lot of space in front of him. Might have scored, but if he elects to keep it, still gets a good chunk of yards.
And immediately with a fade route thrown to the left side by Peter McFarland, falling incomplete. The pass intended for his number 1 target, Tyrone McFarland. And the pass falls incomplete. Again, Stephen, right on the money, if not a little high. He overthrew both of the Eastview Patriot defenders, and that was all McFarland's to miss.
Yeah, it was a really well-placed ball. He had to throw it high to get it over the top of D.K. Little and Reed Honstein, I believe it was. And that's, he's got it over there. It's just McFarland couldn't concentrate hard enough to bring it in.
We'll pause for a brief injury timeout. It's Reed Honstein who is down in the end zone as the players take a knee.
Yeah, he went down pretty hard on the coverage trying to knock that ball away.
Many thanks to David England for stepping in to operate our camera now that we've got that back up and working, as you'll see on the video replay. And a couple score updates at halftime. Marble Falls leads Cedar Creek 14-3.
Yeah, Hunstein able to get to the sideline. He might have just knocked the wind out of him or something. He took a pretty hard fall after he jumped up, but he looks okay.
Always good to see your players walk off under their own power. Another quick score update. Bastrop in the third quarter leading Glenn by a score of 28-14 as it's second down and goal from the 7 for Elgin. Peter McFarland pitches the ball to Trayvon Black to the right side, and Black running all the way untouched into the end zone for the first Elgin touchdown of the night. From 7 yards out, Trayvon Black, he took the pitch to the right side, picked up some great blocks from the wide receivers and the offensive line, and he was able to get the ball inside the corner near the pylon, and there's your first Elgin touchdown of the night, Steven. Yeah,
there was a similar play that they ran on the opposite side earlier in this drive from the 18, and that was the play I was talking about. That time on the previous play, McFarland kept it and ran up the middle. He got a good chunk of yards, but I thought Black had a chance at scoring in the space that he had in front of him, and they run it again here closer to the goal line as the extra point is up and good, and they run it again here closer to the goal line, and that time McFarland recognizes the situation. He pitches over to Black, and excellent blocking by those Wildcat receivers there on the right side. Nobody could get off their block, and Black ran in untouched.
Aaron Arce kicking the PAT for Elgin. That is up and good. So with 2:06 remaining here in the third quarter, Eastview currently leads it over Elgin by a score of 38-7. And one last quick score update in district action. Brenham, at the start of the fourth quarter, currently leads Weiss by a score of 27-7. And boy, that's not looking good for Weiss because they have yet to pick up a win in district play, nor have they picked up a win over the entire season. So they're 1 quarter away from an 0-10 season. Now, they are a relatively new school, so they're going through their growing pains. I believe this is their first or second varsity year for football. But either way, you never want to see a team go winless. Meanwhile, here in Georgetown, we could potentially have a game because Elgin has 14 more minutes to work with, and they trail by 31. Stranger things have happened in high school football. However, with Elgin's time management, they've been holding onto the ball in large chunks and maintaining very long drives. Meanwhile, Eastview has scored very, very quickly, and they've got a score on defense as well. Their last touchdown coming from a scoop and score by Isaiah Knight. And Elgin is going to kick very high. An onside attempt that is taken by Dalton Love about the 47-yard line. Dalton Love just falls right on that ball. The Elgin kicker in for the onside, Kenneth Esquivel, just kicked it right to Dalton Love, and Dalton Love able to just kind of push the ball into his stomach and hunch over and fall to the ground. And down that ball, referees are going to mark it at the Eastview 49-yard line. So for what feels like the third or fourth time in this third quarter alone, Stephen, Eastview starting at or near the 50.
And Colson's night appears to be done as Cameron Ruffin checks in at quarterback.
And he'll hand the ball off to Jordan Espinosa, who has a huge hole up the middle and is brought down after passing the 50-yard line. He'll be brought down just shy of the 45-yard line. Jordan Espinosa picks up a solid 5 yards, bringing up second down and 5. As Stevens over here grinning, David England just showed him the score of the McCallum-Travis game. It's currently McCallum 63, Travis 0, and that's actually a final score. As on second down and 5, Eastview able to draw Elgin offsides.
Yeah, we should see a automatic or result of the penalty being a first down. Refs are huddling. I don't think Eastview moved here. See what they decide.
Looked like that entire Elgin defensive line jumped forward at the same time.
And it is offside, so it will result in a first down here for Eastview. Yeah, getting back to that McCallum score, 63-0. They blew out Travis. That's, like I said earlier, the Battle of the Bell, and McCallum has actually won 17 of the last 18 meetings in that rivalry, and make that 18 of the last 19.
1st and 10, ball on the 41-yard line. Cameron Ruffin throws, and that pass is, no, it's not intercepted. It did hit the ground. Falls through the arms of the intended receiver. Was that Devon Little,
Yeah,
Steven?
that's Little over there. He kind of, I think it hit his finger wrong. It looks like he jammed his finger or something. He's holding his hand, kind of walking around, trying to fight off that initial pain that happens when he, I know that's happened to me, just playing catch in the front yard with my dad as a kid. Just that ball hits you just right on the finger, and it kind of locks in, and it's pretty tough, and especially when it's as cold as it is down there.
I was just going to say the cold can only exacerbate this pain, as on 2nd down and 10, it's a handoff to Jordan Espinosa up the middle towards the left hash mark. Espinosa brought down after gaining 4, maybe 5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Patriots. And the clock continues to tick. 45 seconds remaining here in this 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 5, ball on the 37-yard line. The Patriots send a man in motion. It's DK Little, but it's a handoff to Jordan Espinosa, who runs up the middle and is tackled after running 2 yards up the middle. Espinosa is brought down, and that will bring up a 4th down and potential punting situation for the Patriots. However, they're a bit in no man's land, Stephen. Too far for a field goal, too close for a punt.
Yeah, I fully expect them to go for it, as it looks like they will. No punter has even tried to come onto the field. Offense hasn't even tried to get off. And you got young, inexperienced guys out on the field getting some playing time. Why not give them a shot to convert on a 4th down, as Ruffin and company out there, Espinosa. And it looks like a timeout. Or no,
It's
end of the third quarter.
So 12 minutes remain in this ball game. And the Patriots lead it over the Wildcats by a score of 38-7. We've got 12 minutes remaining in an entire quarter. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. We thank you for choosing to spend your Friday night with us here for Friday Night Football on SHN Sports. I'm Travis Banks alongside Stephen Strong, and thank goodness for David England here tonight. He usually works with the Georgetown crew. Georgetown played last night, so he had nothing to do. He wanted to come up and help us out, and boy, are we glad he did, because as soon as halftime was over, our crowd mic ran out of batteries. So now we sound like we're in a box, but this is what, the 3rd or 4th game that has happened. We haven't had crowd microphones, so hope the listeners are used to it. But we usually plug into the Jumbotron here and obtain their feed for the live video broadcast. Something went wrong there, so now we're using the regular camera we used for our road games. And now David has more to do than just sit there on his phone looking up scores. He can help us run the camera. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, David. And we will be with you wherever Eastview winds up in the 1st round of the playoffs next week. You can find out more information on that at shnsports.com and on all of SHN's social media, as on 4th and 5 for the Patriots. It's a handoff, a sweep to the right side, handed off to DK Little, and he sweeps past the 1st down marker and is brought down after passing the 30-yard line. He does pick up the 1st down for the Patriots and moves the chain, so the Patriots will live to continue this drive.
Yeah, there were 2 huge moments on that play. One, there was a defender coming right at DK Little behind the line of scrimmage, and Jordan Espinosa threw a key block at just the right moment to allow DK Little to slip past. And then on the right sideline, Little had a sea of guys in front of him. He was able to do a nifty spin move just to get past one of them and able to fight forward to pick up that 1st down. Without those 2 key things happening, there's no way they convert.
1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line. Cameron Ruffin in the pistol formation. He hands the ball off to Jordan Espinosa, who rushes up the middle for a monster gain. 5 yards, maybe 6 for the Patriots. Brings up 2nd down and manageable. We'll see where the referees mark the ball. Officially a 5-yard gain. The ball will be spotted at the 22-yard line. So Eastview just 2 yards away from entering the red zone. And Eastview, they're doing what Elgin did in the first half now. They're pretty much just milking the clock because they're up 31 points, and they're knocking on the door yet again. 2nd down and 5. Ruffin hands the ball off to Espinosa again. Espinosa up the middle toward the right hash mark, barrels his way past the 1st down line and gains an extra 2 yards just to put some icing on that cake, and is finally brought down, sets up another 1st down for the Patriots. The ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line, so Eastview officially in the red zone now.
Espinosa showing off that burst that he can have off that first step, and once he's done a good job the last couple runs. Once he sees that burst hole, just busting through it as fast as he can and trying to get some positive yards going.
You know, Jordan Espinosa wants to join in on all these touchdowns the Patriots have been scoring tonight. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line in the pistol formation. Ruffin hands the ball off to Jordan Espinosa yet again, and Espinosa he's like a beast tonight, taking on these Elgin defensive line monsters we were talking about earlier. They have a combined weight of 770 pounds, and Jordan Espinosa is just barreling right through them with another 6-yard gain this time. Sets up a 2nd and 4 from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, doing a good job of keeping his legs turning even with guys hanging on him and just trying to keep that train chugging, and picked up 6 there to make it 2nd and 4 here.
As you said, ball spotted on the 10-yard line. And Ruffin hands the ball off to Espinosa yet again. Espinosa up the middle towards the right hash mark, and there's a late flag that comes out, but Espinosa finally brought down by 3 or 4 Elgin defenders. And let's see what this flag is about.
Yeah, honestly, this flag could be anything. There was a huge pile there near the line of scrimmage. Ref kind of just flew through the flag in the middle of all that. This could go either way. Maybe a face mask or holding. It's a chop block against the Patriots, so that'll knock them all the way back out of the red zone.
That's a massive loss of yardage. The ball was spotted at the 10-yard line. This is going to push them back all the way to the 25-yard line, 15 yards. So 2nd down and 19 for the Patriots. With just under 9 minutes to go here in the ball game, Eastview leads it 38-7. 2nd and 19. Ruffin looks toward his sideline to get instructions from Coach Rob Davies, and he's going to make some brief adjustments.
Be cool to see Ruffin put it through the air here.
And Ruffin takes the snap, and he drops back. He throws. It's a fake intended for Carlos Ochoa. The pass falls incomplete. Ruffin just deeply overthrew all of his receivers. Carlos Ochoa right there, and that will set up a 3rd down and a mile to go for the Patriots.
I like the play call. They ran a play action, and everyone bit at Espinosa, but there was still some pressure applied on Ruffin. He felt it. He got rid of the ball very quickly, almost too quickly, and ended up overthrowing his man.
The clock is stopped with 8 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ruffin in the pistol formation on 3rd and 19. Takes the snap, drops back, throws over the middle. He has a man. It falls incomplete. Intended for Devon Little in the end zone. Devon Little, it looked like he had the catch made for just a brief second, but he caught it with his fingertips and just couldn't hold on, and the pass falls incomplete. That sets up 4th down and 19 and a kicking situation for the Eastview Patriots.
Yeah, Little had a couple opportunities in the middle of that catch to haul it in. And, honestly, on a nice, warm evening, he probably brings that in. On a chilly, stiff, windy night, it kind of falls the other way, and that time just off his fingertips, unable to get it going, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 19.
Reed Honstein will stay on the sidelines. 4th and 19. Ruffin rolls out to the left side. He's going to scramble. He's going to keep the ball himself. A late flag comes out in the backfield, but Ruffin running into the end zone for the touchdown. 25 yards for Cameron Ruffin. However, hold everything because there is a flag all the way back on the 30-yard line, and that was the back judge, so you got to think this is going to be a holding call negating this touchdown.
Yeah, Eastview's looking pretty disappointed, especially Cameron Ruffin, who had an excellent run to get into the end zone, and everyone's walking back. This is a holding, Travis, against the Patriots. On a 4th and 19, Ruffin runs it into the end zone, and they get called for holding, so this will be a 4th and a length of a football field nearly.
So this will be 4th down and 29 officially. It was 4th down and 19, as we'll give a shout out to Rob Hipp, who is currently in the Friday Night Fan Stand studios. I believe that's Talk 1370 AM is the station. And also streaming online, fanstandatx.com. And Eastview is just going to punt this ball away. They don't want to risk anything on 4th and 29. And a great punt that rolls out of bounds or at the 20-yard line. And so that will set up with 8:09 remaining in the ballgame. Elgin with some decent field position at their own 20. However, they are down 31 points and time is not on their side. They need to score quick, and they need to recover a bunch of onsides if they want any chance of maintaining a comeback, Stephen.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, I mean, we thought Jackson Colson's night was done, and they say, hey, why don't we throw him in at punter late in this ball game. So that was actually Colson on that punt, and he gets it inside. We're right at the 20, and not a bad job by your quarterback to get out there and punt.
So 1st and 10 for the Elgin Wildcats on their own 20. Peter McFarland, he fakes a handoff and keeps the ball himself. He rushes up the middle. A late flag comes out behind him. Looks to be holding, but Peter McFarland gains a good 5 yards on that quarterback carry, the design quarterback run. And we'll see what the referees have to say about this flag real quick first.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go against the Wildcats as they're already backing up. And it is a holding call.
Stephen, David England just pointed something out. These white flags on the north end zone that surround the goalposts, look at how much they're waving in the breeze. It's pretty fast, which means the wind is, and well, David, you said earlier it was 8 miles an hour going north. It looks like a lot more than 8 miles an hour, and with that 46-degree weather down there, it's got to be pretty miserable for those kids on the field and the fans in the stands as well. As on 1st and 20, Elgin will hand the ball off, and going nowhere is the ball carrier, Jacob Harkins.
Yeah, he took a beating on that run, too. They were able to, pick him up, and then he took another hit as he was backtracking. Physical defense by this Patriots squad, and talking about the chilly conditions down there, thankfully for the Patriots, they have such a big lead. They're able to get some guys in the game who get some playing time and don't normally get to play a whole lot, and they're able to warm up off the bench.
McFarland with a pitch to the right side to his running back, and that back has nowhere to go. That is Trayvon Black on the carry, and now he's in the face of D.K. Little, and I'm kind of surprised that does not draw an unsportsmanlike conduct on either one of those players. They've been jawing at each other all throughout the night, Steve, and this will bring up 3rd and 13, so a 7-yard gain by Trayvon Black there on 2nd down, but Elgin still has 3rd and a long ways to go.
Yeah, that's a good non-call by the ref. They're just jawing at each other. It's passionate. It's football. It's, late in the game and a blowout game so far. And, if they want to talk a little bit, let them do it. It's no harm.
You can kind of sense the frustration of Elgin as they are fighting for their entire postseason. So emotions run high, and kids get a little upset as there is a timeout called by Elgin. That is actually their first of the half, with 7 minutes to go exactly in this ball game. And Elgin's going to talk things over on this 3rd and 13 play because this is pretty much the ball game for Elgin. If they can't get a first down here, they're going to be at the mercy of Eastview, and Eastview could pretty much run all 7 minutes off of this clock.
Yeah, with Espinosa and Ruffin in there and the success they had on their last drive, even though it resulted in a punt, it should have been a touchdown. It just got called back due to the penalty. But, yeah, they've had some lengthy drives as this half has progressed. Am I crazy, or was it 10-0 at halftime?
It was a 10-0 halftime score. Eastview just
lit up that third quarter.
Oh, my gosh, 28 third-quarter points by Eastview.
Yeah, I was thinking, at the end of half, it was 10-0. At the end of the third, it was 38-7. And I was thinking, well, if Eastview can come out here and take a 38-7 lead in one quarter, then why can't Elgin come out in the fourth and trying to get back into this game? So
here we go, 3rd and 13. Peter McFarland drops back and throws. He has a man downfield, and it's tipped and falls incomplete, intended for Tyron McNeil, and that pass play looked to be broken up by a trio. Devon Little involved in that trio. Zion Hester as well.
And DK Little.
DK Little, that's the one. I know he was the one that got his hands on the ball. I just couldn't see what his number was from here.
Yeah, DK Little, once again, he's been all over the field. He's been in the backfield. He's been making tackles for loss. He's been in coverage. He's been on offense, running for first downs. He's done it all tonight. He's been a heck of a player.
Elgin just deciding to punt the ball away. Isaiah Quentin Jackson back at the 45-yard line to return this punt. And the punt is up. It's a short punt, a low punt, but gets the job done. The fair catch is called for back at the 50, and Isaiah Quentin Jackson will have Eastview. I think the referees are going to mark that ball down exactly at the 50-yard line. So once again, Eastview will start at or around the 50-yard line. And they've got 6:47 to run out before they can start looking ahead to the playoffs next week.
Yeah, all throughout this game, Eastview has had pretty much consistent, really good field position, and they've definitely won that battle tonight. And they call a face mask penalty against Elgin. So where we thought they would start on their own 49 just outside the 50, it should be into Wildcat territory already. So their field position gets even better here on this drive with 6:47 to go.
It's a 15-yard penalty, so as you said, Stephen, Eastview will get set up at the Elgin 35-yard line. Cameron Ruffin, the quarterback, in the pistol formation. One wide receiver on each side. It's a handoff to Espinosa, who's averaging about 5 yards per carry here in this second half since he's been inserted into the game. And he only gains 1 yard on that carry, brings up 2nd down and 9. Cold. 2nd down and 9, ball on the 34-yard line. Cameron Ruffin now. He's just going to milk this play clock for everything it is, and he hands the ball off to his running back. It's Espinosa yet again. Espinosa gains about 4 yards on that carry, and that'll set up 3rd down and manageable 3rd down and 5 at the 30-yard line for the Patriots, and the clock continues to tick. 5:45 and counting to go here in this ball game. So this will be 3rd and 5 from the 30-yard line. Eastview back onto the field, play clock ticking down, and it's another handoff to Espinosa, and this time Elgin defense saw that the ball was going to be handed off to Espinosa. They saw where Espinosa was going to go, and they were able to push him back behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll set up really the first loss of yardage for Eastview in quite some time. And just under 5 minutes to go here in the ball game now. Eastview faced with a situation. Do they punt, or do they try to get that first down and milk the clock out some more to prevent Elgin from getting on the board one more time?
I mean, last drive they went for it on 4th and 19, 4th and 19. This is 4th and 6. They'll keep the offense on the field. Play clock under 5 now. They're probably going to take a timeout. Yeah, that is what they do. I don't know if they ever had any intention of running that play to begin with. We'll have to wait and see if they do elect to go for it on this 4th down, but they use their first timeout of the half with 4:24 to go here in this 4th quarter.
Well, the game has broken out down in Marble Falls as at the start of the 4th quarter, Marble Falls is only leading Cedar Creek by 4. That game is 21-17 right now, so that game has huge implications for Cedar Creek because they're fighting for this same playoff spot that Elgin is fighting for. Meanwhile, in Bastrop, at the start of the 4th quarter as well, Bastrop leading Glenn by a score of 35-21, 14-point game in that one. Glenn looking to get their first win of the season overall. And the other game in our district area it actually just went final. Brenham defeated Weiss by a score of 34-7, and I apologize, I just got Weiss and Glenn mixed up. Glenn is currently in the first place in the district, and they trail right now by 2 scores. As Ruffin rolls out to the left side and attempts a pass. The only receiver in the area was Kobe Kavanaugh, and that pass falls incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs. Elgin will take over at their own 31-yard line, and the clock is stopped with 4:19 remaining in the ball game. So Elgin has a chance to get on the board yet again, but I don't think they're going to be able to score the 31 points they need to tie and take this game into overtime.
Yeah, it was a nice rollout there by Ruffin. Not a horrible play call. It's just he got pressured so much and he was hit right as he released the ball, and it just kind of went into the dirt, had no chance at getting anywhere. So it results in the turnover on downs, and Elgin will take over once again.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 31-yard line. Peter McFarland hands the ball off to his back. It's a sweep to the left side. On the carry was Tristan Carlos, the backup running back, and he's brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down and about 12 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, both teams now slowing down in between plays. Elgin initially, to start this game, started doing this just to play keep away from the Patriots, which honestly it worked in the first half. They limited the Patriots to 10 first half points, but here in the second half, Eastview has erupted as they'll throw it deep down the field. It's out of the reach of his intended receiver down the left sideline. It falls incomplete to bring up 3rd down. But yeah, this offense has erupted for the Patriots, and Elgin has kind of stayed in that slow and methodical approach, which hasn't worked out as well for them, as they've only been able to put up 7 and now face a 3rd down and 12.
And this crowd, sensing that this game is over, has pretty much emptied out of Birkelbach Field as it looked like a bobbled snap for Elgin. The attempted handoff to Trey Isom is found, and there's a really late flag being thrown by the back judge and another referee as well.
Yeah, Trey Isom is probably going to be ejected here. He seems pretty fed up with this play. He picked up, it was a busted play to begin with. He was able to pick up the football and try to run with it. He got tackled from behind, and then he threw a punch at, I was unable to see which defender, but he definitely threw a close-fisted punch, and the refs, I'm not sure if the ref saw the punch, but he definitely saw the unnecessary roughness.
That flag nearly hitting the press box.
And I think they actually end up calling a penalty against both teams, so the penalty's offset.
That flag was thrown so high, it nearly hit the stadium lights in the press box up here.
I'm honestly kind of astonished that they didn't kick out Trey Isom. Usually when a player throws a punch, they're gone, and he's had some frustration here on multiple plays now, but he seems to be still able to play, as it's going to be fair caught, I believe, by Isaiah Quentin Jackson, but then he fumbled it, muffed it, and they're going to say it's Elgin's ball. As that time Jackson, just trying to get under the ball, had to kind of dive on it, fell out of his hands, and Elgin comes up with it, so they get the ball back on the Patriot 30.
That is a huge turn of events for Elgin, as with 2:59 remaining here in the ball game, Elgin able to recover a fumbled punt and get some really good field position and have a chance at their second touchdown of the night, as they trail by a score of 38-7 here, fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot. It's not looking good for the Wildcats, but you never know. Stranger things have happened in in high school football, I should say. As Peter McFarland is going to attempt a pass that falls incomplete in the end zone, in the corner of the end zone. That pass broken up by Zion Hester, and I believe that's D.K. Little as well down there.
It was Chris Honstein who came flying over out of nowhere from the left side of the field to the right side, and somehow was able to jump and swat that ball into the out of bounds, and just came flying out of nowhere to knock it away.
Clock is stopped with 2:53 remaining in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for Elgin. Peter McFarland pitches the ball and tosses it to his running back to the right side, and he has nowhere to go, and he's knocked out of bounds by the Eastview defenders. Trayvon Black was the ball carrier on that play.
It was a good pursuit of the football by Jordan Cuglin to slow him down and eventually force him out of bounds.
That's a gain of 2 yards on that play by Trayvon Black. Sets up a 3rd down and 8 situation for Elgin, and they're forced with the difficult task of figuring out what kind of play they're going to call, and I think they're just going to milk this play clock and call a timeout.
Yeah, they got under 5 to go. It looks like they are going to try to run a play real quick.
McFarland tosses the ball off to Black, and Black near the 1st down marker, but he's knocked out of bounds by Devon Little, playing some defense on this series, and that will set up a 4th down and short for the Elgin Wildcats with 1:55 remaining.
Eastview has some speedsters on defense, and then when it seems like Elgin has had some space in front of him and a chance to gain some pretty substantial yards, just out of nowhere comes flying a defender and able to stop him before the marker, as it's going to be 4th and 2 now.
And now McFarland fakes the handoff to his back, and there's all sorts of miscommunication on that play, as McFarland was looking for his favorite wide receiver target, the other McFarland, Tyron McFarland. That pass falls incomplete, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Eastview will take over with 1:50 remaining here in the ball game. And even though Elgin has 2 timeouts, they're down 31 points, Stephen, and I think Eastview is just going to be able to run this clock out and start looking forward to their playoff game next week.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on that 4th down play. It looks like he just was unable to get his arm going on that throw. Fell at the feet of everybody, and now Eastview with a great opportunity to run out the clock in this game. And I wouldn't expect Elgin to use their timeouts, but we'll see.
Ruffin in the shotgun formation hands the ball off to Jordan Espinosa, and Espinosa tackled in the backfield. Lost a yard, maybe 2. And Elgin will not be calling their timeout. I hesitate to say that because, you know, some of these coaches, they want to play till the very last second. And indeed, all the Eastview coaches are packing their gear up in the press box next to us. And Eastview is just going to milk this clock out as much as they can. Just a little over 10 seconds remaining on the game clock. Or on the play clock, I should say. 1:10 remaining and counting on the game clock. And now the Patriots in shotgun formation. Ruffin takes the snap, hands it off in the shotgun formation to Jordan Espinosa, who's tackled in the backfield by 3 Wildcat defenders. So a loss of yardage on the play sets up 3rd down and long for the Patriots, but they should just be able to kneel this out, take it into 4th down, and then run the clock out from there and head home with a victory. And, you know, we don't have too many fireplaces here in Texas, Stephen, but at least turn the heat up on the thermostat and warm themselves up. It's we never really pointed this out, but most of these players down there not wearing any sort of protective gear, any long sleeves or any long socks, long thermal socks. They're all just wearing their regular gear that they wore in week 1 when it's really hot outside. And indeed, Ruffin will just kneel the ball on 3rd down. And with just over 10 seconds to go in the ball game, that should do it. Eastview headed to their own sideline to celebrate, and the players forming their line of handshaking at the 50-yard line. And the clock hits 0. It's official. The Patriots move on to the playoffs by a score of 38-7 over the Elgin Wildcats. Elgin falls short in their attempt at a playoff bid. They will fall to 3-4 in district. They will need a lot of help. They will need losses by Cedar Creek and Bastrop. And Bastrop was leading last we checked. But more importantly, Stephen, Eastview picks up a win tonight on senior night. A very dominating senior night where no points were scored in the 4th quarter. Eastview scored 28 third-quarter points, Stephen.
Yeah, this is a great way to end this regular season, a great way to roll into the playoffs. They've had a up-and-down year. They've given up huge leads in this season at halftime, going in with huge leads against Brenham and a couple other teams this season. And this tonight, going into halftime with a 10-0 lead, and we kind of had our worries, and they come out in that 3rd quarter and they absolutely dominated and lit up the scoreboard, lit up the field, put up 28, and just were able to manage that 4th quarter and come out with a 38-7 victory.
We touched on this a little bit earlier in the ball game, Stephen, but we didn't really get a chance to fully expand on it. This Eastview defense, it's just something about that loss to Glenn 3 weeks ago. Something inside them clicked. This defense is angrier. They're playing with more of a passion. They're playing with more fire. And they've only allowed 10 points in these last 3 games. They got 2 turnovers tonight, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovered for a touchdown by Isaiah Knight. And when you add in that blocked punt, it was a tremendous defensive effort for the Patriots for the 3rd straight week in a row after 3 very shaky weeks that included 2 games that the Patriots lost by giving up large halftime leads, double-digit halftime leads, I should say.
Yeah, and I got to say, I mean, here on senior night, got to point out, of course, Zion Hester, the senior, playing his last game here at Burgelbach Field. And I mean, the way we've seen him grow over these last 3 seasons, starting on varsity, or starting on defense on varsity as a sophomore, as a safety, and backing up Torrey Davis to doing a similar role in his junior year to now. Davis graduated last year and coming in as a feature back and just absolutely dominating defenses all season long and showing what he's got in every way here tonight. It's huge run after huge run, broken tackle after broken tackle. I'm happy for him and everything that he's gone through here at Eastview to have a night like this here on senior night.
Quick score updates for you real quick. Brenham versus Weiss has gone final. Brenham defeating Weiss by a score of 34-7. Bastrop, currently in that fourth-place spot that Elgin was fighting for tonight, currently leads first-place Glenn with 4:45 remaining in the ball game by a score of 35-28. And Marble Falls is currently leading Cedar Creek by 1 point. It's a 21-20 ball game with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter in that one. So if that Bastrop-Glenn game holds, then Bastrop will get that fourth spot in the playoffs, and by virtue of a tiebreaker, Eastview will get the third place spot in the district standings, and they should play the second place team in whichever district they will play in the playoffs in the first round. It's area, so it would be another Austin area district. I forget off the top of my head which district it is. And other scores from around the Central Texas area that might be of interest. Cedar Park versus Manor. That score went final just recently. Cedar Park defeated Manor by a score of 34-21. Hutto shuts Rouse out by a score of 40-0. And the other game on our SHN Sports Network tonight, over in up north a couple miles in Gerald. Gerald defeated Manor New Tech by a score of 69-0, Stephen. That game was being called by Michael Francis and Thomas Montemayor. And because it is senior night, Stephen, before we sign off with our final thoughts, wow, they just wished Coach Davies a happy 50th birthday on the Jumbotron. Something unexpected. Getting a little laugh out of the remaining attendance. Stephen, before we sign off, I wanted to go ahead and give a shout-out to all the seniors. And I'll go ahead and let you do that, Stephen.
Cool, yeah. Shout-out to number 3, Noah Reyes. Number 4, Antoine Mays. Number 5, Kobe Kavanaugh. Number 7, Trevon Watts. Number 9, Ben Simons. Number 10, Zion Hester. Number 11, Jeremiah Knight. Number 14, Caden Harris. Number 15, Ferron Williams. Number 16, Cameron Ruffin. Number 18, Chris Honstein. Number 20, Francisco Santana. Number 21, Jordan Espinosa. Number 22, Devon Little. Number 24, Carlos Ochoa. Number 26, Justin Henry. Number 27, Jaden Martinez. Number 28, Jordan Cuglin. Number 31, Isaiah Knight. Number 32, Mark Rodriguez. Number 33, Reed Honstein. Number 38, Christian Cortez. Number 42, Bane McCravey. Number 45, Marco Guardiola. Number 47, CJ Troutman. Number 49, Leandro Triana. Number 50, Drake Rodriguez. And a special shout out to number 50, Drake Rodriguez, for pulling off that cartwheel down there on the field after this game. That was impressive. Number 53, Jordan Hatley. Number 55, Jackson Pickard. Number 56, Joel Hinojosa. And number 67, Trinidad Fajardo. Number 72, Miguel Vivero. Number 77, Mike Rodriguez. Number 79, Joey Gonzalez. Number 85, Stefan Reyes. And last but not least, number 89, Tyler Lambert. Congrats on a wonderful season and a wonderful career here at Eastview Patriots High School and performances here on Birkelbach Field for senior night.
So for the second year in a row, Eastview wins their final home game for the seniors. But it's not over yet for these seniors. They've had a rough couple of years these last 2 years when it comes to district football games. They've missed the playoffs both years. But this year, they're going to get at least third place in the district standings and will at least move on to the first round of the playoffs, which will take place next week somewhere in the Austin area. Again, once we get that information, we will have that on shnsports.com along with all of SHN's social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, congratulations to all the seniors for a hard-fought victory here on senior night. Stephen, before we sign off, your MVPs of the game.
Offensively, I got to go with Zion Hester. He's done it night in and night out here for 3 years now, and just a dominant performance here on senior night. Defensively, it could go to a couple guys. I got to go with DK Little. I think he made play after play. He was all over the field. Just came up big for this defense, and he's just a junior, so we got one more year of him, thankfully. But I think he made a huge impact in this game. And also he had that huge run on offense. So just doing it all for DK Little. Those are my MVPs. Also, last note, happy birthday, Coach Davies.
My MVPs will differ just a little bit. I'm going to give my offensive MVP shout out to Isaiah Quentin Jackson for his 47-yard touchdown run in the third quarter that pretty much broke open the scoring. And another touchdown score for tonight on defense, that'll be Isaiah Knight. He's the one who's responsible for that scoop and score. The final touchdown scored by the Patriots tonight, that bumped the score up to 38-0 Eastview. Elgin was able to score at the end of the third quarter, but that was it for scoring. A fairly short game, all said and done, thanks to all the running of the ball by both teams and the large time of possession by Elgin in the first half. So Eastview will move on to the playoffs. Again, we will have that playoff game information for you as soon as it becomes available on SHN Sports when it becomes available. And Stephen and I should both be there next week, whenever and wherever that game is held. Until then, thank you to all of our SHN broadcast partners and your support throughout the season. From Rob Hipp, Carl Schoenig, everybody else are involved with SHN Sports. I'm Travis Banks. He's Steven Strong. Thanks to David England for coming out to help us tonight and ended up doing some camera work after some technical difficulties. Thank you very much, David, for all of your help tonight and throughout all of the season. So from everyone here at SHN Sports, we'll see you next week for the first round of playoffs. Until then, have a safe weekend, and so long from the Lone Star State.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Showing Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reuse of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Showing Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Showing Hip Network and SHNSports.com.